Good evening. My name is Lucretia Bellamy, and this is my Pareto Charts individual quality tool presentation. Over the course of my IQT presentation, I will cover what are Pareto charts, the advantages and disadvantages of using Pareto charts. I will give an academia scenario. Then I will discuss how to use it. And then I will also talk about how to use a Pareto chart in the team case scenario. After that, I will end with my conclusion. What is a Pareto chart? According to Kenneth Rose from the Project Quality Management book, a Pareto chart is a helpful tool used to identify the greatest opportunity for improvement among a number of possibilities, and it also identifies the small number of most influential cases among the complete set of possible sources of error. It is a histogram or bar chart combined with a line graph that groups the frequency or cost of different problems to show the relative significance. These bars shows frequency in descending order. The Pareto chart is named after an Italian economist, Vilfredo Pareto, and he bases observations on disparity of wealth. He determined through analysis of various population data that wealth seemed to be distributed among or according to an 80-20 rule. 80% of wealth is in the hands of 20% of people, or in other words, 20% control 80% of the wealth. Joseph Juran, a quality pioneer, related Pareto's economic view of the 80-20 rule to improving product quality. 80% of the defects are caused by 20% of the possible sources of error. In other words, a minority of factors are responsible for the majority of the total defects in any given situation. Pareto charts is also called Pareto analysis or Pareto diagram. Within the PMBOK, the Pareto chart can be used as a data representation tool in the 8.2 manage quality and 8.3 control quality processes in the project quality management phase. In this slide, I will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using a Pareto chart. The advantages of using a Pareto charts are drawing a Pareto chart is very easy. It helps you segregate the problems and their causes. It helps you focus on solving the few causes generating the most problems. It shows you the problems to focus on to get a significant improvement. And it helps you visualize problems quickly, so it is an excellent visual communication tool. The disadvantages of Pareto tool are the Pareto principle is a rule of thumb that you cannot apply in all cases. It does not help you find a root cause of the problem, so you will need another tool, such as the root cause analysis, to help supplement it. If there are many problems, you may need more sub-Pareto charts to segregate, which sometimes may be cumbersome. It shows the frequency of a problem and not the severity. And last but not least, it focuses on past data which might not be significant to current or future scenarios. Based on the limitations or disadvantages that I just discussed, it is best to use this tool when you have a lot of data and want to analyze it, when you want to identify the cause with the highest number of problems, when communicating data with stakeholders in meetings, and when you want to prioritize tasks, and last, when you want to see the relative importance of data. Alternative tools to use in place of the Pareto charts are scatter diagrams and histograms. As I stated earlier, Pareto charts are extremely easy to use. In this slide, I will discuss step-by-step instruction on how to draw one. The first step is to select the category of causes you want to group the issues into. Second, determine the measure, for example, frequency, cost, time, or etc. 3. Decide the period to collect the data. 4. Collect the data. 5. Segregate the data as per the categories. 6. Draw a bar chart with causes on the x-axis and the number of occurrences on the y-axis. 7. Draw the bar with the highest number of occurrences at the far left and label the category. 8. Repeat this procedure until all identified categories are complete. 9. The bar showing the lowest number of problems will be on the last part of the graph. Now it is time to draw a cumulative sum line. Now this can be optional in a Pareto chart. The first thing to do is find the percentage of each category. Then add the percentage of the first and second bar and put a dot on the second bar. After that, add the percentage of the third bar and place a dot at the top of the third bar. And then you will continue the process until all bars are covered. And then you connect the dots. Eventually, you'll end up with the cumulative sum line. This will ensure the bar is at the far right has a 100% percentage. In order to get a better understanding, I wanted to use an example to help illustrate the process. In this scenario, a restaurant has received many complaints. The complaint type would be the actual categories you would use to distinguish from other complaint types. So, in order to populate the Pareto chart, we must use this data, which is off on the left. The data is sorted by the complaint type, and then it is sorted also by the frequency or the counts. So the complaint type, which would equal the category, is first, too noisy, overpriced, food is tasteless, food not fresh, food is too salty, not clean, unfriendly staff, wait time, no atmosphere, and small portions. As you can see in the Pareto chart, all these categories are listed. Remember, when you are drawing a bar chart within the Pareto chart, you have to draw the bar with the highest number of occurrences at the far left and label the category. For this example, the highest count is or lies in the overpriced complaint type. So overpriced category would be first with 789 counts. Next would be small portions, which has 621 counts. After that would be wait time with 109, and so on and so forth. The bar showing the lowest number of problems will be on the last. This line, as you can see, is the cumulative sum line. The goal, of course, is to reach 80%. Remember that the purpose of the Pareto diagram is to distinguish the vital few from the trivial many. Therefore, we would like only a few bars on the left side of the Pareto chart that account for most, say 80% of the problems. Then it is clear which areas we should address. We can also look at the cumulative line to tell us if our Pareto chart is working well. The cumulative line should be steep with a lot of arch to it, implying that the first few problem areas rapidly add to a high percentage of the total problems. If the cumulative line is straight, it is telling us that the contribution from each successive bar after the first is about even. These bars then should be about the same height. This says that no problems stand out as being more bothersome than the rest, which does not help much for problem solving. As far as for this example, we can tell here that there is a steady climb and is actually pretty steep right here. And then it stops around 80% after the overpriced category and small portions. As you can see here, majority of the problems lies in these two complaint categories. If the restaurant was going to resolve the issues that they have, then they would concentrate on making solutions or creating solutions that would address the price of their menu items and their portion sizes. Within the slide, I will discuss an academia scenario which utilized the Pareto chart. The Pareto chart was applied to analyze students' errors in grammar, mechanics, and style in business English. This project proposed to analyze errors made by individuals to identify the critical few errors, and in doing so, correcting those errors would improve writing up to 80%. The project involved a two-stage process to investigate the utility of the Pareto principle as a device for setting priorities in the area of grammar, mechanics, and style. Results identified the top three errors for attention across all student groups analyzed, which totaled 112 cases. The three errors were word choice, wordiness, that's actually one category, comma errors, and passive voice. Across the four classes, Pareto charts demonstrated a consistent focus on three so that in the classroom, the instructor can concentrate on a vital few to improve quality in writing. In a team case study, I chose to focus on why employee volunteers and interns didn't learn new skills during last year's event. Human Resources conducted surveys for the 100 volunteers who participated in the event. The responses yielded 5 reasons why employees didn't develop new skills. One was that there weren't enough volunteers. Second, not enough logistical resources. Third, a lack of direction and leadership. Fourth, a lack of preparation and training. And fifth, micromanagement. As you can see off to the right, those are the numbers of surveys that fell into those 5 different categories. Based off of the data that I read off to you in the previous slide, I was able to draw a Pareto chart. Remember that the purpose of a Pareto diagram is to separate the significant aspects of a problem from the trivial ones. Based off of this chart here, we see that the significant issues lies in lack of preparation and training and lack of direction and leadership. By graphically separating the aspects of a problem, a team will know where to direct its improvement efforts. Based off of this information, the Acme leadership will direct their improvement efforts on making sure employees, or should I say employee volunteers and interns, are prepared. They receive some sort of training before the event, and that they also receive direction and guidance from the leadership that is assigned to them. Reducing the largest bars identified in a diagram will do more for overall improvement than reducing the smaller ones. So by concentrating on 80% of the problem, we will definitely see a significant improvement in this year's event, which is the Halloween party. In conclusion, the Pareto chart distinguishes the vital few from the trivial many. It assists to concentrate your efforts on the problems that offer the highest potential for improvement, and it also breaks down potential problems into smaller pieces. Through the Pareto chart, we can identify most significant factors from a lot of inconsequential problems set. The outcomes from the Pareto chart helps us to understand how we can make better use of limited resources. This concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.